Running a Fever, Episode 25, The Demons of Doubt.
Welcome to the show. Beautiful day. Beautiful day for a run. Feeling kind of hurried today, probably don't need to be. And it's 58 degrees, so I'm hoping that I won't be as cold as I was yesterday. It's a little earlier in the day, just after 4:30. But I've got something tonight. I've got just like a regular thing tonight that I have every week. And I'm needing to be there at 7. So really have no fear that I won't make it, but I just want to be sure. I always like to have plenty of extra time. Don't like to be rushed. I'm not even putting the headlamp on my head at this point, just putting it in the pocket. Thinking maybe my nervousness, I guess, about the time is going to light a fire and get me moving quicker today. I don't know. Saying I'm not surprised about the knee problems. If you're in my situation and taking this journey, along with me, or you're planning to, I mean, when you get older, you just have to expect there's going to be a variety of aches and pains that go along with physical activity. Not bothering me now. This morning I was having trouble, but it wasn't disabling me or anything. I just kind of felt it. So I think maybe keeping my back straight helps the back. I always have back pain toward the end of the workout. Don't know what the knee thing was about, but I was wearing my regular shoes. 1/10 of a mile in. Sun is just above the trees. Walking right by some pine trees. Smells really nice. Christmas trees. Christmas trees in nature. May have a guest tomorrow. I've got a friend who's wanting to come out here with me. So looking forward to that. Well, not tomorrow. Friday. 2 days from now. Feeling pretty good so far. I don't know. I'm going at a pretty good pace. 1/4 mile in, not really breathing that hard. I know I need this warm up, so I'm going to do that every time. So thinking back to yesterday, lessons learned, and the run I have ahead of me, it's important to be mentally prepared, and I'm going to be in a good mood on a day like today. It's beautiful. I'll probably still have plenty of light there at the dam, where I love to look at the water. Yeah, I can feel it in my legs. I know I'm working muscles there. I know my heart rate's up. I don't know. It's difficult to come up with a mental strategy. How do I distract myself or motivate myself to keep going? As I said before, there are demons that creep into my thoughts. Demons of doubt. And this isn't the greatest thought, but one of the things that keeps me going is I've done it before. I've done it before, so I know I can do it. And I want to do it. So why wouldn't I do it this time? 10 minutes in, half mile in. Still walking the 20-minute mile. So no real change there. Of course, I never know exactly when the automatic thing kicks in on the wonderful workout watch. So it could be shorter distance. I think generally it is. So I'm watching these golfers, disc golfers, and they're, looks like it's just two of them playing together, and they are throwing more than one disc from a position. I don't know if that's kind of the disc golf version of a driving range, or if they're just going, you know, acting as if there's other players and just taking the closest one, or what that's all about. My friend has a brother who's into this, and I may have mentioned that before, and I should probably get with him and just kind of get him to run down all the ins and outs, the games they play, how they play them. And we're on the straight towards the marina now. Somebody's having a photo session over there. Looked like maybe my friend and his fiance, but can't really tell. They didn't notice me, so don't know. I know they come out here every now and then. Don't usually see many people I know. Actually, I don't think I've seen anyone I know, but people have seen me that know me. However, I do see people multiple times that I've seen out here. Lady just passed me on a bicycle is one of them, which makes me a little self-conscious about the fact that I'm always wearing the same sweatshirt every day. I do wash it once in a while, but these are my workout clothes for now. Like I said, you know, trying to build that wardrobe and your equipment toolbox. Takes time.
16 years ago.
Right, I understand.
So yeah, it's you know, typical long work day, and my mind is not really working terribly. I'm not really that creative right now, so I'm not thinking of good mental strategies, but I need to do that. So I've got my one, I'm going to try to stick to that. Done this. I know I can do it. I want to do it. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to finish this half-mile run all at once. Now, sun's going down, but it's going to be plenty of light until I get past the marina, but all the same, putting on the headlamp, even though I won't turn it on. I just don't want to have it in my pocket when I'm running. Hey, I'm here early enough, the marina's still open. Crossing the road, the driveway. Apparently there's a run coming up, the Jingle Bell Run. I'm seeing a sign. It's kind of actually fell down. Maybe it's already happened, I don't know. I have to look that up. Haven't thought about entering any events, but I have thought that it would be good to go to some of these events and interview people for the podcast. No reason why I couldn't. Usually total length is 5K, which is within my range, considering I walk, I think, about that distance. And there's the .5 file. Okay. It worked. Sort of. I was kind of thinking what I would say. The ailment is called shin splints. Pretty easy to prevent by doing what I talked about doing when I first started the run. Getting some blood circulation going in the lower legs. See, the thing is, it's one of those stretches that I think might fit into that category of the kind you're not supposed to do anymore. And that might have something to do with my knee troubles yesterday. What I've got right now is kind of a twinge on my inside left knee, and I don't think I'll be able to walk as fast as I want to as I'm limping. Why should I be able to fight off those demons that try to get into my brain, the demons of doubt? Well, I've cast them as demons because I think they're interfering with something I want to do that is good. In the real world, of course, good and evil is never so simple. But in the motivational, metaphorical sense, it works. Because everything I do is for good. Even when I do objectively bad things, I'm doing them either because I think they're good or because I'm trying to do good and failing. And there you have it, the ultra simplified Thomistic philosophy of good and evil. I think it may be this last hill that really does my back in every day. It's like gravity's coming up, yanking my upper body down. My back is resisting and pays the price. Because let me tell you something. Gravity always wins. Always. There's a 1 mile marker. Definitely duskish now. Half light. Got my low beam headlamp on. Yeah, definitely limping back. I don't know. I think maybe some kind of workout is in order. Some kind of warming up of my lower legs. What I used to do was I'd maybe my back against the wall and just drop down so I was trying to have my shin pretty much straight up, but I was pretty much folded down in a almost sitting position, and then just moving side to side from there. And I usually got something moving in my lower legs. So that's what I want to try tomorrow. I don't know, I probably would have been offended if I heard a person my age saying this when I was like, 25, 30. I think that's something, what happens as you get older is you learn how to use your mind in situations where you would just use brute force or something else earlier in life. And so this constant barrage of aches and pains here and there make me think about them and make me think about, well, how can I avoid that so I can keep going? And some of these things I've used as an excuse in the past. Oh, my back is hurting yesterday, so I better not go out. And a day off turns into a week off, and there you are. Jingle Bell Run, got to remember that. Well, despite my limpiness, I feel better in terms of my overall energy level today. I think the run went well. Mentally, I knew what I had to do mentally, and I came into it knowing that. Didn't really have a very good plan for mentally executing the run. But even on short notice, I mean, think back in your life at the things you've had to do on short notice. You know, give a speech or, you know, just asked to jump in and do something you've never done because the person who'd normally be doing it has got some emergency. I've seen that happen quite a few times. Once it was, it's raining today, so everything we planned for the kids is canceled, so go in this room and take care of them for an hour. So that was a challenge to someone who's not really used to doing that, kids that age. But you do your best, and you know, sometimes you'd be amazed at how well you do in those situations. And this, you know, wasn't anything near as challenging as some, you know, situations I've been in. But I knew what I had to do, and that's the thing. Going into something, even just having a few minutes notice, is better than getting into the middle of it before you figure out you need a plan. I started along the lines that I had talked about before the run, with my attitude and thinking, and then I started doing some sort of distractive thinking by thinking about what I would say at the end of the run, how I would describe it. And that's as good as what I'm doing right now, which is talking to you while I'm running. And it just takes my mind off of what my body is doing, even though that's what I'm talking about. It's amazing how the mind works. I could explain a lot of things, good things and bad things. How we can sort of divorce our minds from our bodies, divorce our thinking, abstract it from what we're actually doing. So yeah, sometimes it can be bad. Intentions can be good and actions can be bad. So I don't know what the answer to that question is, if I'm wrong or not. I think what I've read about intelligence tests is they have to account for age, because people who are more experienced thinking do it better. So it makes sense to me that as we come into disadvantage physically, we come into more advantage mentally. And that's how we survive, as long as we do. A good example of this, I tend to relate quite a bit. Of course, when you're 21, you don't really, I mean, I could be looking at a guy and thinking he's 60 or 70. I don't know how old. He might have been just 45, you know. But it seems to me he was at least 60. He was a junior varsity squash coach at a service academy. So I would see him, and what he would do is how he would teach these guys how to play, is he would play with them. And I'd see him in a match with one of these, 19, 20-year-old squash players, junior varsity or squash players on the school team, and they'd be running all over the place. I mean, they had all this energy. He was in control of the game. Because the objective of squash is not to outrun your opponent. It's to outplay him or her. Control the middle of the court, because from the middle of the court you can easiest get to any other place on the court. It's the shortest distance. So first you have to do that. And of course that involves getting your opponent out of that position. So you get your opponent out of the position so you can get in the position. And then once you're there, it's all about ball placement, right? So this is what this coach would do. I mean, I'd see him almost effortlessly stand in the middle of the squash court, hitting one ball over to the corner, and then the kid would be, the young player would be, running over there and just barely getting in there in time to hit the ball, and so he didn't place his ball well, and so made it easy for the old coach to hit it again, and put it exactly where he wanted it, and that's just how the games went. But it impressed me because here was an example of how in a game of sport, this is a physical game, that a 60-year-old can beat a 20-year-old at any sport is pretty amazing. It just goes to show how much skill goes into play. Someone who's good enough to make a college team still gets beaten by a 60-year-old coach. Now, you don't see that in many sports. You don't see a football coach, pro football coach out, mixing it up with the young players. This is one of those exceptions, but it still is. It's a physical sport. That's a good example of how, as your physical capabilities diminish, your mental capabilities mature. Just one man's opinion, one 51-year-old man's opinion. It's only 5:30, so I've got plenty of time. I have to be out of the house by about 6:30, and I'll be home by 20 of. Be in the shower by 6 o'clock, should be cool enough by then. Drink my 40 or more ounces of water. So not a bad day. I don't expect this pain in my knee to last through tomorrow until the next workout, although it might last until tomorrow morning, like what happened yesterday. I didn't really notice it until this morning. But I'm going to do a little warm-up tomorrow before I even start walking and try to get some better circulation going. And I'm going to really make an effort to actually find out about, some serious warm-ups other than just heading out walking, because I know that I need it in my legs. So I'm definitely going to try to do that before the next workout. So I'm pretty pleased with the workout today. Progress mentally, progress physically. And it was a little warmer today. Of course, we now know that the warmer it gets, the easier it is to get oxygen in my body. And so that's going to be an easier workout. That helped, but hopefully we keep improving. I keep improving over time in terms of my oxygen efficiency and the amount of weight I'm carrying, all of those things. So that by the time it starts really getting warmer at the end of winter, then I will be, just like today, I'm kind of leveling off and I've had some difficulty because of the cold. When winter is ending and it's getting warmer, then the reverse should be in effect, and I should make great gains, I would think, as it gets warmer. So yeah, on the whole, good day. Some discussion may be controversial if you're of a different age, whatever age you are. Maybe you have an opinion that you'd like to share about that. So you can always do that at runningafever.com, and I will see you tomorrow. Keep the fever.
This is the Padua Podcast Network. PaduaMedia.com.